War. War never changes.
It's safe to say that Fallout 4 may just be one of the most anticipated games of the year. After a blistering reaction following its reveal at E3, fans have been hyping the game up to near unreachable proportions. But with so much excitement surrounding it, just how likely is it to live up to its insane expectations?
Hey, boy. What are you doing out here all by yourself?
Moving away from the glitz and glam of New Vegas, Fallout 4 takes place in and around Boston. The Commonwealth is packed to the brim with so much content, and the sheer variety in the environments is astounding. Simply wandering through this vast wasteland is hugely rewarding, especially with the improvements made to the quest design. In previous games, despite there being a mass amount of content, the cohesion between each quest was relatively poor. This meant that regardless of how interesting a quest may have been, it wasn't particularly relevant to your character's own goals. This has been entirely changed in Fallout 4, with the narrative taking on a far more personal approach. Making each quest feel relevant has never been more important. Thankfully, Bethesda have delivered in a big way. Many of the factions in the world have goals that are close to your own, whether you choose to go guns heavy with the Brotherhood of Steel or build an army with the Robin Hood-esque Minutemen. Know that everything you undertake feels purposeful. Your companions feel incredibly significant too. While the heavily advertised canine companion is little more than an aggressive pack mule, the vocal companions have a whole lot to offer. Their presence during quests leads to unique dialogue, either from themselves or from people in the world reacting to them. They also shape the way you play, as their bond to you is altered depending on how your actions align with their own motives. Unfortunately, not everything in Fallout 4 is the improvement many may have hoped for. For the first time, your character actually speaks, and while this is certainly a step forward for this very personal narrative, it results in huge steps back for the dialogue system. Where previous games had numerous options of detailed dialogue to choose from, Fallout 4 offers only 4 vague responses, often comprising of only positive, negative, aggressive, or sarcastic options. With speech success tied to chance this time around, the freedom that the series once had is entirely lost.
Aw, he ain't my dog. No, sir. Dog meat, he's what you call his own man.
Visuals certainly don't make or break a game, but their importance is undeniable in an RPG so heavily focused on immersing the player. While Fallout 4 does a great job of bringing the franchise's quest and world design into 2015, its visuals have certainly not travelled along with it. Textures are remarkably low across the board, and combined with the lack of object ambient occlusion, the world is left looking very waxy and flat. Combined with a plethora of bugs and poor AI pathing, the lack of technical polish across the board dampens the experience by a good margin. It's a step above New Vegas, and mods will absolutely help in time, but it would have been nice to see Bethesda crush their reputation of dated visuals and buggy releases.
Good neighbors of the people, for the people. You feel me? Everyone's welcome.
Thankfully, that's almost entirely where the criticism ends. Bethesda's changes to the gameplay have resulted in a spectacularly streamlined experience. The days of mashing E just to see if there was anything worth looting are long gone. Simply looking at an object displays its entire contents and makes scavenging an absolute breeze. In previous games, the VAT system was almost a necessity in combat due to how clunky the shooting mechanics were. It was hard to really call it a true first-person shooter. Fortunately, Fallout 4's mechanics appear to be entirely overhauled. Combat is smooth, aiming is a breeze, and every weapon feels incredibly unique. Considering how terrifying every enemy is this time around, this is hugely appreciated. Feral ghouls are lightning fast and work in packs, deathclaws are ruthless, and even the tiniest bugs can cause you trouble early on. The addition of weapon and armor customization is a real necessity for the toughest parts of the Commonwealth. It's fortunate then that there is so much freedom built into this mechanic. Tailoring a gun to your playstyle is as simple as finding the right materials for it and heading over to one of the many workbenches in the game. Lastly, and perhaps the most anticipated feature, is the ability to build your own settlement. The sheer depth to this base building is staggering. It is a role player's dream come to life. Players will have to create farms, manage power, set up trading posts, and protect their settlement from incoming bandits. It's entirely optional, but it's sure to be a wonderful source for emergent gameplay and will almost certainly prolong the game's lifespan.
Can't be too hard. I'll see what I can do.
Well, alright. Maybe our luck's finally turning around.
Fallout 4 may not be the best game of the year, but it is yet another landmark in the open world RPG genre. There are few games out there that build worlds as convincing as the ones found in Fallout, and although the game should have been 100% up to standard on launch, PC gamers do have the luxury of mods to help alleviate any issues Bethesda don't tackle themselves. Fallout 4 may be familiar territory, but years of refinement help it stand high above its predecessors. For the full review, be sure to head over to KBMOD.com.